What it do, my YouTube family? It's about Arca here, back with another Call of Duty Black Ops 4 video. And this video is gonna be a raw uncut video, domination, hardcore domination. I get killed a whole bunch of times. This is an old video, of course, using the GKS here. Only reason I didn't back out because I wanted to win so bad because the other guys were talking crap in the game before. So yeah, just enjoy the gameplay, and yeah, man, let's just get to the topic at hand. The topic at hand is just basically my history with Call of Duty, with the Call of Duty franchise. You know, my start till now, basically. I just want to talk about that real quick and how gaming has changed a bit, you know, well, a lot of it. But with that said, let's get started, man. My first COD that I ever played was I've played Call of Duty 1, 2, and 3 on the Xbox 360 campaigns, and I played Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare campaign on Xbox as well, the Xbox 360. I beat all of them, and that's basically how I got introduced to the franchise, just playing the campaigns and beating them. But what I didn't know was that Call of Duty Modern Warfare had a online multiplayer, so I didn't really pay attention to it. And I had an Xbox 360, so I didn't want to, you know, obviously back then you had to pay. PS3 was free, so I eventually ended up getting a PlayStation. But even then when that you had to pay for the Xbox Gold or whatever it was called, I forgot. I didn't know that they had an online community, online gaming, and all that. So that's besides the fact. So eventually I got a PS3 one year, and I ended up getting Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and ended up getting Call of Duty World at War. So I ended up beating the multiplayer again for the PlayStation 3 for her Modern Warfare, and then eventually jumping on World at War. It was a newer COD, and at that time there was only two developers. You had Infinity Ward and Treyarch, and if everybody remembers, Treyarch would make the older version games. The settings would be back in the days, you know, whether it be World War I, World War II, whatever. It was back in the days, as Infinity Ward would take place more in modern times. So I started playing World at War multiplayer first. And with that said, I was going back and forth. I was playing Modern Warfare 4, and I was playing not Modern Warfare 4. I was playing Modern Warfare and World at War kind of at the same time, because, you know, some friends of mine on the PlayStation 3 would prefer the modern game over the old school game. But at that time I loved World at War. World at War was lit for me. It was great, and I enjoyed it. And, you know, I didn't do too good. I did better in Modern Warfare, but I still would prefer World at War. But yeah, so my KD back in those days, like, let me see, like, World at War was the start. My KD was terrible. My KD was like barely over 01, and it's understandable. It's the first time getting into this type of world. And back then on last gen with PlayStation 3, you know, I don't know about you guys, but I played on Wi-Fi. I didn't have an Ethernet cord and all that shit. I would play on Wi-Fi, and and it played well. It played fantastic. It would lag sometimes, but it felt more of the game's lag rather than the internet lag. But moving forward, World at War, my KD was like at 1.0203, whatever, something like that, along those lines. And, you know, again, I enjoyed the crap out of it, especially zombies. That was the first time I played zombies. And back then, Infinity War didn't have no zombies in their game, so that gave reason for people to go back and play. You know what I'm saying? Go back and forth to have both games and have something to do in both games. I only prestiged about twice in World at War, and then I ended up finally decided, you know what, let me play Modern Warfare. So as soon as I started playing Modern Warfare, I was instantly hooked, where I'm like, oh, like, it's new, it's modern day, you know, no old school stuff. I got a red dot sight, you know, the kill streaks were whatever, you know, because for those first two games, they only had 3 kill streaks, and that was a 3 kill streak, 5 kill streak, and a 7 kill streak, you know. So it was very bland, the game, but it was still cool to earn it, you know. Like, so getting dogs were cool back in World at War. It was awesome. And, you know, getting the chopper in Modern Warfare was cool. But yeah, man, so again, that's what made me get into the franchise. I'm like, alright, I could deal with this. World at War, again, my KD was like barely over 01. But Modern Warfare, my KD was like a 1.50. So basically like a 150. So it alright, you know, moving on up. After those two games, I'm like, okay, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, the GOAT came out, Modern Warfare 2. You know, I think Modern Warfare 2 is the best Call of Duty that's ever come out. That's just my personal opinion. And for that matter, that game introduced us a whole new meaning of Call of Duty. Like, it had a whole bunch of kill streaks, whole bunch of attachments, weapons, etc. The whole prestige is, that's when I started prestiging finally. Like, you know, I'm gonna go for prestige 10, because prior to that I didn't really understand the prestiging process. Like, I did it twice in that war, I believe, and I'm like, damn, this is tiring. And in Modern Warfare I didn't prestige at all. I just went to level 55 and stood there. So with Modern Warfare 2 I was like, you know what, I'm gonna prestige 10 times. This is when I'm, you know, I'm looking at YouTube at the time. Shit, I'm gonna respawn. This is like old school shit. You know, I used to follow this guy called Mr. Phantasmo, and so I think, what's this guy's name? Some guy who dropped like a nuke in like 12 seconds. I forgot what his name is. It was G-Unit 123. That was his name. It was classic days, man. But anyway, Modern Warfare 2 was, again, the GOAT for me. I did very well. Again, KD was over 2 in that game. It was like a 2.02. And yeah, Modern Warfare, can't say enough good things about it. Of course, I had it bad for sure. But this is back in the days when Call of Duty didn't have no updates, didn't have no buffs, no nerfs, no nothing, you know, like, and people still played it and enjoyed it. So moving on after that, Black Ops 1 came out, man, and Black Ops 1, holy crap. But just for that matter, Modern Warfare 2 was the most I've ever played a COD, ever. I had like 40 plus days on that shit. With that said, Black Ops 1 ended up dropping. Black Ops 1, man, I loved it. That's the best KD I've ever had in any Call of Duty. Black Ops 1, I was like at a 3 point something. The Blackbird was introduced, and the chopper gun of the dogs, all this came back. You know, they had multiple streaks, and it was a Treyarch game, so I already knew going into it that it was going to take place more in the past than the modern day game, which was fine because it didn't feel like too much of old school. It didn't go back to the World War. It was like back in the 60s, I think. I think it took place in the 60s and the 70s. I think I can't remember it directly, but that was an awesome timeline to do a game, and they did it, and they nailed it. They did great. So next up after that, again, all this is on PS3. After that, all on Wi-Fi, all proper connection, everything was flowing good. Hit detection or time to kill was amazing back in those days, you know, in my personal opinion. After that, we had Modern Warfare 3. Modern Warfare 3 I prestige twice. I feel like the leveling up, we actually went up to like level 80, I think. And then I was just like, nah, bro, this is too much, man. I can't, like, it's taking too long, especially when you get to like that 60 something mark. It just took forever, the experience points that you needed. So I was like, you know, I'm done. You know, I played it. Well, not that I was done. I just prestige twice and I was done with prestiging, but I still played the game. Like, KD in that game was like 2.70, 2.71, around there. You know, we were going off in Modern Warfare 3, but it just didn't feel, even though I had the higher KD than both Modern Warfare previously to it, I still wasn't feeling it. I'm like, nah, it's just something about this game. I don't like the sound of it. Just the feel for it wasn't there for me. And it explains because Sledgehammer Games was behind it. Dun dun dun. So that proves right there, Sledgehammer Games needs to do something else. I don't know what they're doing or what they did back then. But so yeah, man, Modern Warfare 3 came. After that, what was it? Black Ops 2 came out. I really didn't play Black Ops 2 too much. I prestige about twice. My KD was like a 1.80 on that one. Just life, man, doing hobbies and just doing a whole bunch of stuff that you should and shouldn't be doing at the same time with life. You know, just hobbies, growing up, just doing more things in life. You know, so I didn't play I didn't play as much as I wanted. So for me, when people talk about Black Ops 2, I can't relate too much to them as far as it being so good. Because for me, I would prefer Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops 1 over it any day. So yeah, but from Black Ops 2, Ghost, Advanced Warfare, I didn't play too much. With Ghost, I only prestige once, and I literally got bored of the game. I was tired of it. I was like, I can't play this shit. Like, this, like, I was falling asleep playing Ghost, bro. Like, that's how slow it was for me. But even in Ghost, I had a KD like a 1.80 as well for the time that I did play. Like, I prestige once and started the second prestige, and I just didn't finish it. It just, like, the emblems were corny. It just didn't, yeah, like the maps, the colors, the streaks, it was all garbage to me. But I did appreciate the time to kill in Ghost for sure, and the bullet registration. Moving on, then Advanced Warfare came out. Mind you, I played Ghost on PlayStation 3. Advanced Warfare came out and I bought it on the PlayStation 3. This was like the first full release on a next-gen COD, so I guess I never gave Advanced Warfare a fair shake, and because I never played it for the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One. I just got to like level 30 on the PlayStation 3 and I just didn't like it. The whole jumping and boost jumping and everything. I'm like, oh my goodness. But at this point, Black Ops 2, Ghost, Advanced Warfare, I didn't really put in too much time in it the way I put in the previous COD prior to that. So Advanced Warfare didn't get a fair shake. So I admit to that. And then after that, we had Black Ops 3, and this was the first time I got an Xbox One. Played it on the I played Black Ops 3 on the Xbox One for the first time. And I did terrible. My KD was shot to shit. My KD was like a 0.50, and I'm on Prestige 8, Prestige 9. I'm like, dang, like how times have changed. The boost jumping, just the mechanics, the sliding, jump shotting, all that shit. I'm like, what the hell? You know, I was just taken by surprise and overwhelmed. And with that said, I was like, you know what? Black Ops 3 was when I finally decided to do YouTube. So if you scroll to my channel, you'll see like Black Ops 3 gameplays. I decided to do gameplays for Black Ops 3, and that's when I was like, okay, I got to get my shit together with this game. I got to get better. And at this point, the KD is moving up by points. So if my KD was a 0.60, it was the next point was still it was 6'1", 6'2", 6'3". It wasn't jumping 2 or 3. Nah, like I was deep in a deep hole. I ended up getting into like a 113, which was cool because the lobby leaderboards would say I'm a 113, and these KDs of 2 would think that I'm trash. But in theory, I was playing at like a superb level. You know, my KD probably would have been over a 2 right there. And like when I started taking it serious. So with that said, that was Black Ops 3 again. I got the hero gear, I got the dark matter. I thought dark matter was something, a cool element to Call of Duty that got added, and especially the hero gear. And the specialists, they were cool in Black Ops 3. It was something different, it was something new. It was definitely like a breath of fresh air, and I was cool with it, you know what I'm saying? And it was the second advanced movement game, but for me it was really like the first, because I didn't play Advanced Warfare, again, enough. And Black Ops 3, I was boost jumping, running on walls and shit. It was awesome. You know, Black Ops 3 was okay for the most part for me. Like, I enjoyed it. I still have my problems with it, the fact that it was the future. But that's where, like, this whole gaming shit comes into play, whereas, like, back in the days, you played on Wi-Fi. The Xbox One is way stronger than the PlayStation 4, because I got to, like, level almost 300 in Black Ops 3, all on Wi-Fi. The Black Ops... on Black Ops 3, Xbox One is way stronger than the PlayStation 4 for sure when it comes to playing on Wi-Fi. So if you're playing on Wi-Fi on the Xbox, you're not gonna really feel the lag. It's something about the Xbox. It's just strong and maintains shit. The PlayStation, on the other hand, when you play on Wi-Fi, or PlayStation 4, I should say, it lags so much more. So I didn't understand like all this Ethernet cable stuff. I didn't understand monitors until I got Infinite Warfare. When I got Infinite Warfare, mind you, I started watching YouTube again on COD YouTubers on Black Ops 3 when that game released. I started seeing like hints and tips. You know, the first YouTuber or big YouTuber that I found, because it's been years since I've checked YouTube at this point, as far as for Call of Duty content. Prestigious Key was the first YouTuber I found, and I found him, and he was just giving tips and tricks, and I'm like, bro, like this is dope, this is cool, I'm gonna do this shit. So I ended up doing it. Infinite Warfare came out. That's when I finally got a monitor with Infinite Warfare. But prior to that, I was playing on the PlayStation. I'm like, dude, like this shit is lagging. This shit is crazy. I couldn't hook the Wi-Fi that I wanted because the PlayStation only was hooking up to the 2.4 gigahertz rather than the 5.0 like the Xbox was hooked up to. So I'm like, bro, this is crazy. So I ended up getting an Ethernet cord finally, and I felt it a lot smoother for sure. But the TV setting, I'm playing on a 55-inch right here, Samsung. You know, this is like after Prestige 10, I find out that there's a setting on the TV that can make it feel like a monitor, or the response time will be a whole lot better from pulling the trigger to moving around left and right, whatever it was. I found it on YouTube, and if you have a Samsung TV and are currently playing on Samsung TV, put it on PC mode. I guarantee everything's gonna change from there on out. And when I did that, well, it started registering a lot faster. I'm like, what the hell? Like, it was just insane to me that this can happen, and I was in shock. So I'm like, bro, like, I'm gonna play like this, and I started murdering, going off. Like, my KD was like a 1.3 something in Infinite Warfare, and by the time Infinite Warfare was done, my KD was at a 1.8 something, but that's what it showed. But I really was playing like a 3 point something, because it just to accumulate, to bring those points up. You know, I was playing like a high 2 point something to close to a 3 for sure in Infinite Warfare. again, I'm sorry this video is dragging, but this is just, I just gotta talk about this shit. So, cause it's so funny to me. Like now, like you have routers, monitors, Ethernet cords. You have certain routers that, like a Net Duma now. It's like what? Scuff controllers. Like things have evolved so much from when I used to play Call of Duty so much more. I'm like, wow, bro. So then, with Infinite Warfare, again, I enjoyed Infinite Warfare. Like I know a lot of people don't like it, but you have to give it a fair share. You know, like you have to play it, understand it. And that's what I did, and I enjoyed Infinite Warfare for the most part, especially when they revamped it. They revamped it. Like they revamped World War II, they revamped Infinite Warfare, and hopefully they revamp BO4. But with that said, World War II came out, dominated in World War II. I enjoyed World War II for the most part. I hated it when it first came out, but after they revamped it, that's when I started enjoying it more. My KD was like at a 1.6 something, 1.7 something. After they revamped it, it jumped to like a 2.13. I loved it after that. Just everything was just flowing better. The maps, the visions overhaul was a lot better for me, and you know it had its issues, but overall I think World War II is a solid Call of Duty, and I think I would put that game in my top 5. Moving on, now we're in Black Ops 4. Again, World War II was just, like, again, it surprised me as to how much I actually like it now, you know. And now we got Black Ops 4 where my KDs are currently at a 2.2, you know, and now again I'm playing on a monitor, but I'm currently playing on Wi-Fi. So again, I don't know how much better it would play on an Ethernet cord, but hearing everybody complain about it so much, it doesn't change my opinion that the game still sucks with LAN compensation and it just runs bad, or it doesn't feel smooth, or whatever, you know. But Black Ops 4 is definitely a change in the wrong direction, I would say. Like again, I remember Treyarch was the old school game. Like I feel like that trend should have stayed, and now all these studios got together and they made the same game. That's why Infinite Warfare got a lot of shit, because it was in the future. Black Ops 3 was in the future. Advanced Warfare was in the future. Where if you had Infinity War making the future games, well, not even the future games, just the modern games, Treyarch with the old school games, and maybe Sledgehammer Games could made future games, you know. I think that would have worked a lot better on a yearly rotation, and it'll give more variety over time. But yeah, guys, yeah, man, sorry this video is long. Again, it's your boy ArcaX, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, comment below. Maybe y'all can make a video like this. And yeah, man, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.